Goldylocks Productions broadcasts universal cosmic frequencies that unlock, awaken, and expand the consciousness of our worldwide viewers and listeners.
You are tuning into the Goldylocks Productions presentation of the Angels and Healing Light Show. Sit back, relax, and be open to receive the angelic messages and healing channeled through your host, Laura Romeiro.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to the Angels and Healing Light Show. I'm so pleased to be with you, and I'm so pleased that you're here as part of the Angels and Healing Light family. Ooh, it's going to be a great show today. So I'm Laura Romeiro, your hostess. Another beautiful show today, bringing angelic and divine messages, healing messages, insight, light, love, laughter. It's all here. And I am so blessed today. We have the beautiful Reverend Dr. Kimberly Marooney with us this morning. Oh, it's so good to have you here. And let me tell you all about her. I know that many of you know her from being a regular on Jimmy Mac's show, and she's been on mine several times. But Reverend Dr. Kimberly Marooney was blessed with the ability to experience direct personal contact with God, the angels, and many spiritual beings. She was the first person in the world to earn a master's degree in angelology and a doctorate in spiritual psychology. Many of the best-known angel experts have sought to learn from her, including Doreen Virtue and many others. And Kimberly skillfully combines her 40 years of experience as a mystic with her education to guide people into the profound, life-changing angel encounters. And by following inner guidance, this gifted mystic has authored a dozen books, including best-selling Angel Blessings cards, and has founded the Angel Ministry. Most recently, she was appointed the president of Gateway University, which is a school for the study of higher consciousness. And I can't wait to hear her tell us about that today, because it's part of who many of us are in this ascension process, of this enlightening process, and this process of personal growth, living our life purpose, and helping make the world a better place. So she's going to here to help us along with that today. So welcome, and thank you so much for being here today.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I am just absolutely delighted to be here with you, Laura.
So you and I were just chatting right before the show, and you were mentioning how much sunlight you experience in your northwestern part of the world. And, you know, I talk about this a lot every week, about shining our light, shining our inner light. And you are experiencing beautiful sunlight, beautiful moonlight where you live. There's so many ways to experience light from so many different sources. But how does something like that, how does that affect you? How does that affect your practice? Do you feel a deeper connection to nature? Do you feel that this does it at all make any changes in your life, any differences in your spiritual practices, if that makes any sense?
I've been fortunate to live in some really beautiful places, and I know most people don't. And I've lived in some not so beautiful places too. So I've been here and there through my life. And so here in the Pacific Northwest, we have a very interesting cycle that really helps me connect more with our Mother Gaia. And that's because the daylight shifts so radically here. So in the summer, like right now, it starts getting light about 4:15 in the morning, and it's not dark until 10 o'clock at night. So it's a lot of light during the day. But in the winter, it's exactly the opposite. So it's like, it doesn't start to get light till 8:30, 9 o'clock.
Oh my
and
goodness.
It's dark by 3:30. So we have a really short day in the winter. And so I've never been affected by the light cycles like this, because I always lived in California, Central California. We have fairly balanced days and nights there. But here with the extremity, it helps me understand why in the winter people get quiet. They go within, they don't go out, especially when there's a lot of snow and you can't leave your house, things like that, little minor details. So that cycle of in the winter going within to rest, to nurture, for self-inquiry, it's just really great for sitting by the fireplace with a book, or sitting by the fireplace with your journal, or doing some deep meditation in the winter. Whereas in the summer, when the sun's out, I just want to be outside all day. I want to be out in the woods hiking. I want to be putting my feet in a creek, I want to hear the birds sing and watch the squirrels play. And I want to go down to the beach and walk in the water. And so here we have that abundance of opportunity because I've got the water ahead of me. So I'm looking out my office window here. I can see the Straits of Juan de Fuca. It's a mile and a half to the water in front of me. And directly behind me are the Olympic Mountains. So the mountains are a mile behind me. So, I'm just sandwiched between this immense beauty of water with mountains. And so the four elements are so beautifully balanced around here. We have earth, air, water. We have the fire from the sun and the moon. I can tell you on the big super moons, my God, they're huge in the sky here.
Oh, that sounds so beautiful.
It is an incredibly beautiful place to live. And then when the wildflowers come out, here, because summer doesn't start till July, the wildflowers don't come out until late July, August, sometimes late August, which is really nice because often, like where I lived in the desert before, the wildflowers were out in March, and they're so early that if you don't hear the news and immediately go watch them, they're gone.
They're gone.
And here the wildflowers come out late, and the news travels in the hiking community. I have friends who tell me, oh, the Heather Park Trail has wildflowers blooming. You'll love the avalanche lilies, or whatever it is. Oh, there's roadies up on the Tubal Cain Road Trail. So our trail friends tell us, and the trails are open now. So they were closed for a while with COVID-19, and I haven't been out quite yet, but the trails are open, and I'm looking forward to getting out pretty soon.
When I talk many times about choosing our environment, and especially with all of that's been going on lately, boy, are we in the middle of a perfect storm or what? So there's so much going on. There's been so many emotions and changes in people's lives. And every week I remind people to choose your environment. Choose an environment that makes you feel good. Choose peace and quiet when you're trying to connect with God, with the angels, with the higher realms. If you're unable to get those messages in your home or at work, if your surroundings are not conducive to that, then spend time in nature. And it's such an important thing to be able to be part of that life cycle, that life energy that comes from the earth. And as you describe it, how much joy it brings to people that are just waiting with excitement to see the flowers bloom, and they're so happy to see them, but they tell everyone else about them. So to me, it's just another strong reminder that there's beautiful energy that is given and shared freely in nature. And so it's very important for all of us to remember to choose our environments when we are not feeling good about where we're at any given moment. Make the choice to change to something that does make you feel good and make you feel positive.
And the other thing that you can do is there's always something that you could focus in on. So even in a not so lovely environment, you can always find at least one thing that you can focus in on. And that one thing might be that you close your eyes, if you're safe to do that. You close your eyes and you just breathe and give thanks that there is air for you to breathe. Or maybe you can feel some sun on your face, or maybe you're feeling rain and you can give thanks for the rain. But there's always, no matter where you are, something that you can give thanks for. Maybe you see a little bit of green, maybe there's a tree or a bush or a little bit of grass somewhere. Maybe there's some birds singing, maybe you hear a dog barking. Maybe there's a nice fragrance comes by. But there's always something that you can find, and choose to put your attention on that. You know, it's like love. You talked about love at the beginning of today. The message for today is about love. In the midst of almost any scenario, any situation, we can find something that we can love in the moment. And maybe it's not even about what's around us. Maybe where we go is a memory or an imagination. Maybe we go to one of those imaginal realities. We switch over from the caterpillar to the butterfly for a minute in the imaginal reality, and we imagine that there's the fragrance of roses. Or we imagine that we're in a park or somewhere beautiful. Or we imagine that it's not so hot or it's not so cold. Or we imagine that there's a rose garden or a flower garden in front of us. So we can choose to find the love. Maybe we just imagine that someone we love is there with us and we're feeling the love, we're savoring. So we always have the choice within ourselves to choose some kind of beauty, love, joy, peace, sweetness. We have that choice always, regardless of the moment.
Beautifully said. Oh, that was so relaxing to listen to you talk about that. Very peaceful. So we can create our environment. If we can't physically get to it, we can create it within ourselves. So remember that, ladies and gentlemen, you do have so many opportunities and choices to create your own environment. And when you do create an environment of love or peace or healing or happiness, you know, that energy shows up and it rolls off of you and affects the people nearby, the people near you. So remember that you have the opportunity to change energy around you just with your thoughts. So there you go. I want to say good morning. Melissa Parks is joining us today. She says, good morning, loves. Hi, Melissa. Nice to have you here as always. Melissa shows tomorrow at 1 o'clock, Joyful Findings show. So check her out. And I want to say good morning to Linnell and to Elizabeth. We have so many people joining us today. Valerie Simmons, nice to have you here. Hello, everybody. Thanks for being here. And so I do want to mention to the angel message of today. If you haven't received my angel message of the week, please go to my website and sign up for that. It comes out every week and it's a channeled message from God and the angels. And today was all about spreading love and feeling love, and life is love. It's about love. And so check that out. If you'd like me to forward that to you, just send me an email. Laura@angelsandhealinglight.com, and Tiffany's got my website posted here, which is angelsandhealinglight.com. But today's message is about spreading love, but it's about worthiness too. And this is from Kimberly's beautiful, beautiful deck called Angel Love. And you can see it, it's right behind her shoulder there. And it's right in front of her. Incredibly beautiful deck full of beautiful, beautiful messages. And I'm going to have you tell people in just a second here how to get this deck, because it is really very heartfelt and very beautiful and I know that you put a lot of love into it. But today's message of worthiness, isn't this beautiful? I just feel so much love and receive so much love from just looking at this image, but also worthiness. And it's just a reminder that we are all worthy to receive love, and it's up to us to open our hearts to receive it and understand that we deserve it, and it is something that not only we can receive as well as to share with others. So spread love. We are all worthy. We're all perfect in God's eyes. Remember that. So tell us how to get in touch with you and get a copy of one of your books or your card decks, which are so beautiful. Everything that you do is beautiful. How can we do that?
Thank you. Thank you. I take great care with everything. And with the angel love cards, I spend a lot of time finding the images that are on here so that when you look at them like that worthiness image, it takes you somewhere. It's more than just pretty colors or something that you like. It connects with your soul, with your heart, with your spirit, and helps you to see life from a different perspective, helps you to see yourself from a different perspective. So KimberlyMarooney.com is the place where all the goodies are. And when you first get there, over on the right side, there it is. Thank you, Tiffany. KimberlyMarooney.com. On the right side, you'll see an opportunity to get my top 5 ways to recognize angels in your life free gift. That's really sweet. And up on the top, you'll see the shop, and the angel love cards are right in the shop there.
And the opportunity to buy your newest book as well.
I don't remember if I have my newest book in my shop. If I don't, I'll put it in right away.
Tell us about your newest book, which is wonderful.
Oh, I'm very excited about my newest book. It's the Little Book of Angel Healing, First Aid from the Heavenly Realms. And I love this because it's 30 remedies for life. And they all lead us to the same place. And that place where they all lead us is our deepest inner connection with the truth of who we are, that is pure spirit. And I just was literally in heaven, writing about 30 different ways to feel and experience and bring into our life our full divine presence of self. Some of us call that the essential self, or the Christ self, or the true being, or whatever words you have for that. This is 30 ways to experience the wholeness of you in the light of love. And then bring that, merge that in with your physical body, with your physical space, with physical life, so that you become a walking blessing of love in the world. Heaven, you become heaven on earth.
A walking blessing of love. I love that. That's so beautiful. How do you all feel about that? Are you ready to become walking blessings of love and share the love and light that's within you? We all need it. The world needs it. The world needs you to be a walking blessing of love. Yes. And Kimberly, I'd also love for you to tell people about the Gateway University and the courses, because we have many, many people here watching that are so open to receive, and they are so giving of themselves. So please tell us what they can learn from the Gateway University.
So gateway.university, I love getting that extension for it. And I want to tell you about Gateway through my own experience, because it's personal. That's the thing that's so amazing about Gateway as an educational institution. Gateway is an actual, real degree-granting university. You know, a lot of people are using university these days to say that they teach stuff. But Gateway is a real degree-granting 501c3 religious, spiritual, educational university. And we have the opportunity to give bachelor's, master's, and doctorates in higher consciousness. So that's in areas of consciousness, human potential, energy, psychology, spiritual psychology, transpersonal education, transpersonal psychology, and in that arena, angelology in that arena. And so to give you a better idea of the experience of Gateway, I first met Judith Larkin Reno, who was the founder when I was in my mid-20s going through a really awful divorce. She started out as my counselor. And then after a while, Judith's greatest gift was the ability to catalyze our talent, as she called it. And she would, as she was quite psychic. She was she was an amazing woman. So she could tune into the essence of my being, or everyone's being. She could tune into the essence of our being and see our futures, essentially. So she was always like 10 years ahead of me in my life.
Wow.
And so she started to say stuff like, I had begun to write angel blessings cards. There it is. It's reversed. I'd begun to write angel blessings cards in the early 1990s. And I think they were just coming out somewhere around the time we were working together. And so she said, you need a doctorate. And I said, really, I do? And she said, yeah. So I had to start with a master's, because I had a bachelor's but not a master's. And we did a master's in angelology. And to my knowledge, my master's degree in angelology is the first one in the world.
Wow.
And after that, we went into my doctorate in spiritual psychology, because that's the direction I really needed to go into, deeper, more present counseling, the spiritual counseling, spiritual direction. And so I went on and got my doctorate. And what happened along the way was that I understood, I got the experience from working with Judith, that Gateway is truly soul-centered. It's not institution-centered like most schools, most universities, most colleges. We do have a core curriculum. We have, we follow all of the rules of all of the universities. Gateway is based on what they call the golden rule in education. You have to have so many hours to have that equal a unit. So a unit on our transcripts is the same as a unit on transcripts at any other university. But we are focused on how that relates to you, the soul, the person, the human being, the spirit. And so with that, while we have our core curriculum, which is really quite lovely, we also follow your joy line. And because Gateway is so unique, each degree is focused on producing a result in the world. You know, I love that. A lot of degrees aren't like that. But at Gateway, your degree is either launching your website, getting your business started, writing your book, creating your curriculum for your new school. It's about doing your research study that you want to do. It's about doing getting support, getting mentored and group support to bring to the world the brilliance that you were born with. That's the really beautiful part about it.
And so if people are, I talk to a lot of people that know that they are on a path, some kind of a spiritual path of development. Sometimes they're not quite sure what that is. And we all know, having been through it, that it's definitely a flower in the development stage, a bud that opens little by little. But is there a way that helps people determine the best course of study for them based on connecting with what they, their life purpose?
So every degree starts with a visioning process. What is it that's living in your heart? What matters to you more than anything else? What brings the most joy to your heart? So regardless of the course of study that we're going to go on, it starts with a visioning, a deep meditation, a deep visioning. We talk about it a lot. And then we plan your curriculum around what is it that's living in your heart. And for some people, that's just a period of discovery. I don't know. I want to discover. And how wonderful to design a degree program or a certification program around your interest in what you want to discover.
And how you can make a difference to the world.
So as an example, one of my doctoral students right now, she earned her master's degree. She graduated last fall with her master's degree. And she loves learning. She wants to learn everything. So she's learning about water signs and astrology. She's learning about sound healing. She's already a master kahuna healer in the world. She's a world-class healer already. And for her doctorate degree, she has a body of work that she developed that is dormant right now, I'll put it that way, that really needs to come out into the world to be a blessing. And so her doctoral degree is focused around catalyzing her ability to convert that material that she's developed into a book that she can then bring out to the world to share, because what she's developed is quite extraordinary and it's needed. And that's the case for a lot of us. A lot of us light workers, most of the people who are watching here, you've been on the path for a while, and some of us are new, but a lot of us have been on the path for a while. We've done a lot of work. We've taken a lot of classes. We've led classes. We've taught classes. We've developed materials. Wherever you are in that process of studying or then converting to teaching, Gateway has the ability to focus whatever it is that you're being called to, your soul calling, your life purpose, into a degree program where you end up with the credentials that the world recognizes to go forward with your work.
And obviously the support and guidance of people who can help make that happen. So you heard it, everybody. GatewayUniversity.com.
Gateway.university.
University. Check it out. Check out some of the classes, please. If you are someone that is on the path and you're not sure where to go, you want to learn more, you want centered guidance, you want like-minded support, check out what they have to offer. There's just not very many places where you can get a serious education, or I shouldn't say serious, but a dedicated education toward your particular life purpose. There are millions of classes out there. But if you're looking for a particular path and you just need help getting there, finding it, check it out. All right. So much great information. And everybody, I want to welcome everybody again this morning. Reverend Dr. Kimberly Marooney is with us today. We've got lots of people here, Linnell and Jules, and Amy's here, and Melissa, and so many people are here today. If you feel like it, Kimberly, we have a lady, Valley Simmons, says she's so excited to catch the show and would love a message.
So I'm tuning into Valley's energy, and I'm seeing her soul right now with a beautiful soul light. And the angel for her, the angel message is the angel of purity. Let's see if I get this in the middle here. Yeah, there we go. The angel of purity. And again, I took tremendous time and energy selecting the images that I wanted to convey the feeling of purity. So if you look at this image, there's the being in the back who's standing with his hands up, channeling energy. He's got one hand up receiving from the heavens. He's got another hand that's directing energy toward her chakra system. And she is there in the time that this was painted. The style was to make really pale white faces to demonstrate illumination. So her face is that real pale white to communicate that she is in the light, that she's illumined. And look at her beautiful hand. Her beautiful hands are positioned around her heart, embracing that love. And on her face is that relaxed sweetness as she inclines her face toward that beautiful energy that's coming in for her. And that is exactly the experience of purity. It's purity of love, purity of peace, purity of truth. And some other aspects of purity that can help you, Valley, and all of our listeners is, I learned this quite late in life, but purity also has to do with recognizing the state that we're in the moment, and not trying to make it wrong or manipulate or change it, but to recognize it. So let's say, as an example, you're watching something on the TV or internet that's making you angry, and not to dump that anger on other people, but we can recognize that I feel angry. That can be a pure experience. I feel angry. I'm not going to dump it on anyone else. I'm taking responsibility. I feel angry. What I'm looking at triggers in me my own feelings of being angry. Now that anger can become a wonderful boundary. You stay out. This is my boundary. I'm not having anything to do with that. You stay out. So anger can help us make a healthy boundary. Anger can help us say words that we normally would be too polite, too fearful to say. So anger can also bring out words of truth that need to be spoken. Now, this doesn't give permission for hurtful words of anger. But this gives permission for powerful words of truth to be spoken that might be too afraid to, held back in fear otherwise. So that's another aspect of purity, is allowing ourselves to recognize, oh, I'm feeling jealous. Wow, how cool I'm feeling jealous. That means that I'm witnessing in that other person something that I want for myself, but I haven't given myself permission to want. Cool. Now I have a clue. I want that. I want that. Okay. So again, not permission to be nasty to the other person that you're jealous of, but permission to say, oh, so hey, I'm going to admit that I want to be the one on that stage in front of 1,500 people. I want to be the one having that successful whatever, from my own experience. And by the way, I love being on that stage in front of 1,500 people. So that's another aspect of purity, is allowing ourselves the emotions that are a part of our humanness. But then from a place of maturity, a place of thoughtfulness, a place of contemplation, a place of inner knowing, allow those emotional experiences to provide the energy, the wisdom, the words needed to take the next steps on our life path. Again, not acting out in emotion. And that can be hard to do. So that's, yes, Valley, boundaries, yeah. Yes, I've been in that area for a while. So thank you for that feedback, Valley. So yes, so listen to your emotions, let them inform you. Listen to your thoughts, let them inform you, but just don't go blurting out more. Our thoughts can be cesspools, but they're informing us. So rather than just blurt that out, take a breath, step back with it, recognize what the message is. And then from a deeper sense of inner knowing and maturity and deeper peace, then speak what you need to speak from a deeper place of truth and love. So what a great question, Valley. Thank you so much. Oh, she says, I've wondered.
For you, Valley, and then that makes perfect sense. So it's taking action on making those changes or feeling those feelings or hearing those thoughts, but taking the action to make the changes that you need to be where you need to be. And remember that you're always surrounded and guided by angels to help you get there. You're never, ever doing it alone. All right. Yeah, beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you, Valley.
Yes, thank you very much. Well, I'm glad. She says you've helped confirm so many things in my life, and she thanks you very much. Ah, beautiful. Well, you're welcome.
And Laura, the action was this great piece.
They're your cards, and they know exactly what to say, don't they?
Oh, they do. They do.
I love working with cards. I love working with your cards. They just speak volumes. And sometimes what I like about them is they just require a lot of thought, a lot of deep thought, a lot of internal thought, it just puts you in touch with your mind and say, okay, what do I really need to do about this? So they are cards of counseling as well, which makes perfect sense that they come from you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Let's see, we have a couple other people. Melissa is looking for a message too, if we have time. And I got a couple others here. For Melissa, do you have a message for Melissa?
Melissa. Okay, so I'm tuning into Melissa's energy. There she is. Got her. Gotcha, Melissa. So again, with the angel love cards. So the way I do it is, I'll show you how I do it. I like to fan the cards in my, whoops, there we go. I like to fan the cards in my right hand, but in my heart, I'm locating Melissa's energy. So that's one of my superpowers. So let me find her again. Where is she? There she is. Okay. And then my left hand seems to be the magic sensitive one. And so with my left hand, I just kind of see, oh, it's my thumb today. Okay, right there. That one. Okay. Worthiness. So this is another one. Again, we have this illumination, and we have this woman with her head inclined and her hands over her heart. She's illumined. This angel is more illumined and has wings. But again, this angel has one hand on his heart, and with the other hand, he's giving light. And she's receiving that light. I was so delighted when I found this image because it is so representative of how much angels and spirit want to give to us. So this being of light, this angel is right there with her. He is receiving into his heart the divinity of, divine love. And he's broadcasting it to her with his hand of light. And she is illumined. She's feeling that love in her heart. And that, as you perceive so beautifully, Laura, is really the message of worthiness, where you are worthy, Melissa. You are worthy of far more love, more joy, more goodness, more prosperity, more sweetness than you could ever imagine for yourself. And this is the invitation for you to look for opportunities in life to receive goodness, to receive love, to receive messages of light and truth, to have experiences of loving connection with others, to feel joyful. This is your invitation, Melissa, to soak in all of the goodness that you are worthy and ready and able to receive in life. You're switching into a receiving mode now, so go for it.
And Melissa, speaking of sweetness, this is the one I pulled for you. Beautiful card. I just love the eyes. They speak volumes. But that's just another shower of love for you from heaven, honey bunny.
Yeah, she's our cover girl. She's one of my favorites.
A cover girl, I like that. And ladies and gentlemen, just because, any of these messages may resonate so strongly with you, so please take to heart what you're drawn to, okay? Because these messages are for everyone and some part of our life. Beautiful messages that are coming for all of us. So that's why I think they're so profound. Oh, sorry, I keep hitting my table. It's so profound. The messages that come can be so profound for one of us, for two of us, but for all of us. What you're drawn to, what speaks to your heart. So just know that if we're not able to give you an individual message today because of time constraints, there is something here for you. So just please open your heart to receive. Beautiful. Jules is next. Jules would like an angel message. Good morning, Jules.
Oh, Jules. Here you are. Gotcha. So I'm feeling like you need something from angel healing. So let's see what that might be. So Archangel Michael is coming up really strongly for you. Archangel Michael for protection, for self-knowing, and also the fortitude angels to give you strength and courage right now. So I'm wondering, Jules, are you afraid? Is this a time of challenge? Are you having a difficult time? Do you know anything about Jules, Laura?
To my knowledge, she's doing well.
Oh, good. Okay. Wonderful. So then what this is directing us to is just a deeper connection with Archangel Michael, who is all about our deep soul presence. You know, Michael protects our body, protects our energy, but more importantly, Michael protects our soul calling. And so that's for you, Jules, is you're having your soul calling protected, and you're being strengthened and able to choose that calling over perhaps some other distractions in life. And so I'm going to read to you right now a blessing that was actually written by Sunny Dawn Johnson. I pulled this out of our 365 Days of Angel Prayers. I can't quite reach it, but let's see if I can show you that. 365 Days of Angel Prayers. I'm a contributor to that book. And Sunny Dawn Johnson, sweet Sunny, did the second edition. And she put in this beautiful invocation of the archangels that I just want you all to receive. So close your eyes and breathe into your heart. And feel this blessing of love from the archangels. It's for you. I invoke the blue light of Archangel Michael to surround and protect me. I ask him to bring me courage and to protect me from negativity. I ask that the brilliant blue energy of protection be placed over me, allowing only that which is for my highest good. I invoke the white light of Archangel Gabriel to envelop me in his energy of peace and purity. I ask that he help me to communicate from my heart through my words, thoughts, and feelings of light and love. I invoke the golden red energy of Archangel Uriel to fill me with wisdom, clarity, and vision. Soothe all conflict in my life and replace it with knowledge and understanding of the bigger picture. Help me to make choices in my life that are wisest for my personal journey. In closing, I invoke the green light of Archangel Raphael to pour health and well-being into my body. Help me to allow the healing to be received wholeheartedly and guide me to my own natural healing abilities. Thank you, and so it is.
Beautiful. Spectacular. Thank you.
Angel healing.
Just beautiful. How was that, Jules? Oh, she said she's been having a lot of fear lately, so.
Then that is the protection from fear. Yeah, there's a lot that's scary out in the world right now, especially depending upon where you live. I live in a peaceful, quiet place, but some of my friends don't. Some of my friends live in areas where there has been a lot of agitation and a lot of kind of scary stuff happening. So just know that this is actually the time of awakening. We've asked for this. We've prayed for this. And this is the first time in the collective history of human beings that we have been experiencing the same thing at the same time with the coronavirus, which means crown. Corona means crown. So funny coincidence. And our crowns, our chakra systems are opening to allow more light into our being. And I think it's funny, just as I'm saying this, the more light came in through my window, so I'm more brightly lit. Yeah. I'm feeling more lit up. And so, Jules, there's a lot of protection and love for you to, again, as we were talking about in the beginning of this broadcast, choose what you focus on. When you're feeling afraid, look around for something that helps you to feel safe and peaceful and focus on that instead. You have so much love and protection. This is for all of us. We have so much love and protection. And the other thing that you can do is breathe. When we're afraid, we breathe shallow, and we go into our limbic brain, our survival brain in the back of our brain. And to bring your focus to the prefrontal cortex, which is rational thought, and into the inner midbrain, which is connection with the divine. you can breathe like this. You can start by taking 2 short in, 4 long out. So the longer exhale alone helps you to transfer your consciousness from survival to a rationality. And that gives you more options. It gives you the ability to think and choose. So longer exhale doesn't matter the counts. Just a longer exhale than your inhale. And to transfer to the midbrain, which is the divine connection, inhale 3, hold 3, exhale 6. So that goes like this. You don't have to do it so loud. I'm just doing that for demonstration purposes. So
It's very relaxing.
It is. And that additional oxygenation feeds your brain and your nervous system and helps your body to calm.
Focusing on your breath is very simple, but has very powerful results. And I love the fact that you're pointing out where in the brain our thoughts are coming from and how we have the power to change that area of the brain that we're working from. Many of us think it's our brains that run us, but really we run them. We just have to remember how. And so breathing is one of those ways.
Breath is a powerful tool for directing your brain's activities. So you become the master with breath.
Yes. So I hope you're all taking all of this information in. I hope honestly, hopefully you're making notes, memorizing it, storing it in your heart, storing it in the right places in your brain, but just so that when the opportunity comes up for you to be able to use this information, it's right there and you remember it. So I'm asking the angels now to help you remember everything that you need to know at any particular time. So just asking your angels to help say, hey, remember, you can take a couple of breaths. You can go outside and go for a walk. You can read this book. Or have your book. Yeah.
This book is amazing.
Yes, it is.
And the way it works, let's see, Worthiness is 10, I think. Yep, there we go. So when you pull an angel, you look for the number in the book, so it makes it really easy. And it could be just a sentence, it could be a paragraph, it could be the whole thing, it could be the quote that's just right. And then there are actions to attract the angel of worthiness. I loved being able to put actions in here. So there's a whole list of things that you can do in your life. Physical actions, interactions that you could do in your life, questions to contemplate. I don't know what this is, actions. Yeah, things to do in your life to help focus your attention in a way that is more productive and more love-oriented, more peaceful.
And there are songs in there too.
Songs, yeah.
Song is great because some of them are great rock and roll songs. There's all kinds of songs in there that you go, oh.
I try to put a wide variety of music. So there's like heavy metal, and there's rock and roll, and there's some new age music. There's calm meditation music. There's a couple. I think there's a march or two. There's some classical music.
Amazing variety.
Yeah.
So please check them out. You can get to her website at KimberlyMarooney.com. Check it all out. Check out the Gateway University too. I think it's really important for so many of the people that are watching and listening today, to help get you on the path that you're needing to be on, that you're wanting to be on. Let's just get some guidance. So check it out and see if there's anything in there that resonates with you. And then let us know how this works.
So you can take an individual class, a certification, or a degree program. So
yes, there's so many opportunities out there. And let's see, we've got about 11 minutes left. So I would looking for a message for Irene.
What does Irene need? Irene needs angel blessings cards. So I'm sorry they're not available anymore, but I have mine. This was my first deck that I did angel blessings cards. And so Irene, got your energy. So once again, same thing. I've got Irene in my heart. 2. 2, 3. Okay, 3. So she's getting a formula here. Oh, Irene. Oh, lucky you. So faith. So faith, we can either wrestle with life, fight with life, or we can tango with it. I love this image when I found it, and it took me a long time to see that this is actually a tango. Look at that. That's what they do in tango, but this is a really strong tango. And so we can wrestle with our faith, we can wrestle with circumstances of life, or we can, with all of the strength and power of who we are, we can dance with it in empowerment, in joy, in action, strong action. So, Irene, tango, dance with life. And along with that is courage. Serviel, the angel of courage, helps us to put on our armor that's soft and flowing and actually pretty nice. To put on our armor, which is really the strength of who we are. The courage and the conviction of who we are. Who am I? And in that inner conviction of knowing myself, I can then be soft and open and vulnerable. To choose to dance with life, to listen to the perspectives of others that I might not agree with, but to be open to what is it in them, what is their message, what's valid in them that I can appreciate. And then, what a combo. I've never quite seen this combo before. Partnership. Sokhet Hosi, the angel of partnership, helps us to come through an open heart to partner with people that might be a surprise. So this is usually a partnership of love and intimacy, but it can also be a partnership of functioning in life, a business partnership, a service partnership. And it can mean bringing that loving connection into a service partnership in life. So Irene, my goodness, you must be having an interesting life right now. And here's your opportunity to dance with whatever it is that's happening in strength, in courage, and in beauty, and in the strength and empowerment and knowing of who you are, to be open and vulnerable in your heart, to be able to come to new agreements that benefit both parties. So I think that's the best way to put it. So let that be a blessing to you, Irene.
Thank you very much. Wow, that's a lot of energy.
Power.
Yes, very much. Thank you very much for that. Yeah, so I love that first card too. Tango, not tangle. Right? So again, that opportunity to that choice to either get in a hot mess or enjoy the dance. Let it become a dance and choose who's going to lead.
Sometimes we take ourselves in life a little too seriously. What if we can be just a little more playful?
I still think cartoons are the greatest thing ever. I don't care how old I am. I'm old, but sometimes you just have to watch cartoons. They just help brighten up and make you laugh and be silly. Being silly is important. Oh, looks like, okay, Patricia Bergstrasser. Patricia is looking for an angel message, please. We got one for you too, Patricia.
Patricia, hey, Patricia. Happy that you're here with us, Patricia. So, this is different for Patricia. Okay, so this is the other way. It's the one that pops up. And so for Patricia, this is the angel of longing. I love this image when I found it. I love pre-Raphaelite art. So here's a little art history lesson. James Tissot, pre-Raphaelite artist, he did a beautiful series of the life of Jesus. And this is Jesus in powerful, deep prayer, and how much love is all around him. The angels of love are bringing him the resources he needs. And if you see those globes are all containing the resources that he needs for the next step in his life. And it's that way for all of us. We all have this deep, anguished longing for something more, for a deeper love, for spirit to go home, whatever the words are for you. We all have that deep, and it is a blessing to feel that longing. And that longing itself leads us, opens our heart. It can feel painful and raw, but that rawness opens our heart to the blessings of spirit. It opens our heart to receive the benediction of the angels who are coming with the resources, with the wisdom, with the understanding that we need to take the next steps in our lives. So, Patricia, you are so blessed. Allow your inner longing, your inner knowing to carry you to exactly what you need for your next steps. Thank you, Patricia.
And what's very interesting, following on your last statement, Kimberly, is the card of determination. The card of determination. And I love this card too, because it looks like she's taming these lions. But looking at the lions' faces, it also looks to me like they're just being quiet and they're listening and they're open to receive and they're open to becoming part of something. It looks like they're getting a benediction to me. So that determination to go, to be, to listen, to grow, to heal. There's so much beautiful light pouring down in the top of this card too. And it's just a determination to be and to grow and to heal and to shine the light. And no matter who you are, if you're different, everybody's got different choices. They have different purposes in life. So keep in mind too that appearances can be deceiving as well. So there's your card of determination. Stay determined to get to where you want to go and be who you want to be. Aren't these beautiful cards?
You know, as often as I've looked at them and done readings with other people, every time I do a reading with somebody else, they see it differently. And I get a new perspective on what's in that picture. So I love that. Thank you. Thank you for that, Laura.
Sure. I'm not sure what your description of this card is, your reading of this card.
It's pretty much what you just said.
But I love the look in the lion's eyes. It's just so beautiful and so open. Yeah. What a fantastic show. Thank you so much for being here and for sharing all of this profound insight and information. And there's so many healing words. I think I feel very comforted. I feel very peaceful. You're welcome, Patricia. I know that we all have immense abilities in our hearts and in our souls to make the world a bigger, brighter, happier, more joyful place. We have to remember that starts with us, though. So that love and that joy and that light starts with each and every one of you in your own physical home, your spiritual home. So let that start with you. Be open to receive all of the love that's available to you because you're so worthy of it. God and the angels just want you to be so lifted and so healed and so happy and so joyful. So be open to receive all of that energy that's just pouring down upon each and every one of you now as we are in this connection of incredible energy. Let this feeling, let this reminder, let the words that you've heard today, the feelings that you felt today, the insight that you've seen today, let all of this become part of who you are so that you can help yourself, help your neighbors, help your world, and help others be who they are. Because we are, after all here to make a difference, a positive difference. So remember, spread love, spread light. And again, check out Kimberly Marooney's website. She's got so much to offer, as you've heard today, so much more to offer. Beautiful cards, beautiful books, beautiful lessons. So check her out. Okay. Thank you all for being here today. I'll see you again next week. But in the meantime, you can always reach me at Laura@Angels and Healing Light, or go to my website. Please sign up for that weekly angel message. Kimberly, I thank you again with all of my heart for getting up in the middle, well, not quite the middle of the night, but so early this morning, and bringing all of your beautiful insight and wisdom to all of us. And I look forward to doing it again soon. It was really a beautiful time spent with you. I feel very blessed.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Tiffany. Thank you, everyone. See you next week.
Don't want the fun to end? Grab more refreshments, then head over to Goldylocks Productions' YouTube channel. With over 950 archive shows, the fun doesn't have to end.